Kistler from the Carpinteria Valley Chamber of Commerce. It is our honor this evening to be speaking to Mark Borowitz, who is the 2010 large business owner and operator of the Rincon Catering and Beach Club, and we're going to visit with Mark for a little while. Mark, hello and welcome.
Nice to see you,
and
Pat.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Mark, can you tell us a little bit how in the world you started all this and who inspired you to begin this process of owning a catering company?
Oh my Lord, that's a large question. Well, let's see, it started in college wanting to eat and make a basic living while I went to school. So I started as a cook, and then in 1984 we opened a restaurant in downtown Santa Barbara, and we started catering because our clients requested our services out in the field. And then when they built the El Paseo Nuevo, we no longer had a restaurant. So from that point on, it was pretty much just catering.
Just catering. And did you move to your Santa Claus Lane position location at that time, or?
Well, at that time, we came to Carpinteria.
Mm-hmm.
We started the food service element at Pacifica Graduate Institute over on Lambert Road.
Mm-hmm.
And then in '96, we expanded and had another kitchen on Linden Avenue. And that became very small very quickly. We thought it was huge. We didn't know how we were going to pay the rent. And then all of a sudden, we were bursting at the seams, and there was no place for everything and everyone. And I was looking for several years, and we found the old reindeer room on Santa Claus Lane. And thankfully, that has blossomed into our headquarters.
Well, it's world renowned, I have to tell you. Not only is your food delicious, it is well served. You have a delightful staff, and I know your staff shrinks and grows as per the occasion.
Oh, yes.
Tell us a little bit about how that works and how you manage that.
Well, it's definitely a seasonal business. The wedding and the corporate barbecue and picnic season starts to pick up in late April and really hits its stride as we get towards 4th of July through Halloween, pretty much is the end of the season. So we have about 25 core staff that work in the two kitchens because we're still at Pacifica Graduate Institute. And so about half of those are in the kitchen, quarters and sales, and then we have an operations department that moves everything around and cleans things and makes it all. So all those folks work 12 months a year. And then we have a lot of local youngsters, college students, professionals who all work a second job. And they're on our staff list. They sign up on the internet for the various events that go on. And we have various levels of those, captains and runners and just waiters and people who work in the kitchen part-time. We have quite a few folks around town who have professional jobs, and they just like to work in the kitchen on those big weekends, whether it's Zufari Ball or 4th of July. So that's really fun to have those people become part of the family and team. Some of them have been doing it for as many as 12 years. They just work part-time here and there.
Well, I can't imagine anyone who would not want to work for you and your crew. I really like the folks that we get to meet. Tell us a little bit about how the zoo comes into the picture and how you are working there also.
Well, currently we are the exclusive caterer at the zoo. We do all the event production for them as well, so we manage when things come and go, their equipment needs, and we have a salesperson, Angie Chavez, who actually lives here in Carpinteria. She's a full-time salesperson that takes care of the zoo. It started out that we were doing the Zufari Ball, and we were a caterer up at the zoo, and they rebuilt the hilltop. They built a brand new kitchen and bathrooms and brand new pergola. It's very gorgeous. It goes along with their condor exhibit and their California Trails area of the zoo. And they wanted to bring that in-house. Make a long story short, that didn't work out. So we came in, they asked us if we could kind of help out with the remnants of what didn't work, and from that grew into a relationship where they realized that life would be far easier, more profitable, better results for the guests and the staff at the zoo. And here we are a couple years later, and everyone's thrilled that we're there. We're thrilled because it's another opportunity to have a site where we can create programs and create an extra value for the clients.
It is incredible, and I've been up there several times when you've served, and it's not only a beautiful location, but with the added complement of your delicious cuisine, it's wonderful. Tell me how your family gets through all this. I know you're a busy guy running between your kitchens and keeping everything, many plates in the air. How many children do you have, and how are they holding up, and how does that work?
Well, my wife, Carol, who's my partner,
Mm-hmm.
we have 4 children. The oldest is in college back east, and then his name is Tyrell. And Micah, who's 19, is at Baylor University, and we have 2 in high school, Jared and Shoshana. And they've learned to not see me on the weekends. But unlike a restaurant owner where it's 7 days a week, the catering, because it goes up and down, I still get to take vacations here and there and long weekends, and I can be home most weeknights for dinner. So it's just a matter of readjusting how things work. As far as the kids go, that's always been the case. So I don't think they think of it as any different for us. They know it's different than other families. But my wife is absolutely amazing, and she has the energy of 17 people. So somehow she manages to keep them all going to their dive practices and comedy sports and soccer, and still has a smile on her face and a kiss for me when I come home.
Wow, you've got the best of 2 worlds, can I say?
Well, she's what really makes it work. It's amazing.
What a great partnership.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations on that. How long have you been married?
Well, we've been married almost 23 years now.
That's wonderful. Congratulations in that vein. But one other thing I'd like to ask you, and then I'm going to let you do some freelancing in a minute, but what about your parents? I mean, what kind of example did they set? Because this is a very, very tough kind of business. This isn't easy to do. And you've got to have somebody in the background that must have whispered in your ear.
Well, I come from a family of business owners, of small business owners. 2 of my 3 brothers, my sister, my father, they all had their own businesses. So it kind of was in the blood, if you will. My father had a small sewing machine business. He was a repairman when he came out to California in the middle 50s. And that grew into his little shop downtown on Los Angeles Avenue, I think it was.
Wow.
And so he did that for years and years and years. And I'd go down and work with him on Saturdays as a young boy. I think all of my brothers and I did that. So it just sort of became part of the family way of doing things. So I never could imagine myself working for a large company. I worked for all sorts of people as I was growing up and through college. And it just, I think being headstrong and stubborn is basically what it amounts to. You want to do it your way.
That's right.
So I think that's where it kind of comes from.
And I'm sure your children are not headstrong and...
Oh,
no, not at all.
Not at all. That's the funniest thing in the world. No, they're very headstrong.
That's good. That's good. That keeps you just enough oomph at the end of the day to finish and complete your tasks, right?
Well, yes, and you just have to, as they become teenagers as they are now, you just have to, give them your best advice. And I told all my boys when they turned 15, and Shoshana will get her talking to soon, it's your life now. We can guide you, we can be there to help you, but they're your mistakes from now on.
They're your mistakes. Well, it's been a great interview, and again, what an honor to be able to name you the large business for 2010. A lot of people very surprised, but when they know how your business shrinks and grows and shrinks and grows because of the business that you're in, they understand now of how it works. Is there anything that we've missed that we haven't asked you that you'd like to say about this whole process that you've been through? And about Carpinteria in general?
Well, we love Carpinteria. It's an amazing place. Some of our employees grew up here, and they've started with us as teenagers. Jamie Anderson's a great example. Just a wonderful gal. The management team that works for me, I think that's really what makes this all possible. Melissa Sylvester, she's an ambassador for the chamber. Ashley Schaefer, Flavia Ritterstein, and Maxfield, Angie Chavez. They're just amazing young people. who've grown up with us. And I think that's really what makes it go, is the people. This is really, people think of it as a food business or a rental business or this business or that. It's really just about people. We love our clients. We love Carpinteria, and we're glad to do business here.
Well, we're happy to have you, and don't you go anywhere, because we're used to having you around, and we congratulate you. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Well, thank you for the honor.
No problem. Next, we're going to visit with Jessica Pintard, who is the owner of Cork Tree Cellars and is the small business winner for 2010.
Well, thanks, Pat. I'm Larry Nimmer, and I'm here at the Seal Fountain, as you can see. And today, we're now with Jessica Pintard. Jessica, how are you?
I'm good.
Jessica, tell me what you have been nominated for.
I have been nominated for myself, as well as my restaurant, Cork Tree Cellars, has been nominated as Small Business of the Year.
And tell me about that business.
Cork Tree Cellars, we're a wine bar and bistro, so we're a full restaurant. We serve lunch and dinner 6 days a week, and we also have over 100 wines for retail sale.
And do you have another new business coming along?
We do. We will have PB&J's, which will be a kind of an upscale gourmet sandwich shop at great prices. We'll also be serving soups and salads, and then it'll be on the run, and we'll be located in Shepherd's Place shops.
Tell me, what do you do in a typical business day? Can you tell me what the life of a small business person's like?
It varies. For example, this morning I was up at 7 on the computer emailing graphics for some of our logos. Then I was in the truck down to Ventura to pick up flooring, and got to the restaurant right when the lunch rush started, so ate a really quick lunch and hopped right in, and I just ran over here right now because we were really busy at lunch. So after this, I'll go back and I'll get the menus ready for tonight, do some more computer work, and then the evening, it's Friday, so the evening will start pretty early, probably about 5:15, and I'll work probably until about 8:30 or 9 this evening.
Wow. For those interested in going into business, what lessons have you learned in life about how to run a business?
That there really isn't just one way to run a business, and it takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of understanding. You have to be thinking on your feet all the time. Things always change, especially in the restaurant industry. You can't really ever predict it. Like I said, today I walked in, I didn't realize it was going to be so busy, but we were just absolutely slammed. And I couldn't plan that, so luckily I was there to help my staff out. But you just have to be kind of ready for anything, be on your toes at all times.
So and are there a lot of emergencies or a lot of last minute decision making?
It depends on the day. Emergencies can happen where our power's gone out a couple of times at Cork Tree, not from us, but maybe from a power outage in the city. Something breaks, a person gets in a car accident, one of my staff calls in sick. In the restaurant industry, it's I guess you could say it's a volatile industry. You can't plan for it at all.
What would you say is the business market? What's it like here in Carpinteria?
It's great. I think people were really excited when we opened. They welcomed us with open arms. People are excited about our new place opening. They now see that, you know, we serve quality food at good prices, and, you know, we run a fair business. And I think as long as you treat your customers well and your community well, they're gonna treat you well, and they're gonna continue to support you.
How is it? You have to work with the city of Carpinteria a certain amount. How's that working out?
They're great. We love them. They've always been really helpful. Shanna at the front desk is always willing to answer the millions of questions that I have. The building inspector has been really great with us. I couldn't ask for a better experience.
Tell me, Jessica, what do you like and dislike about the city of Carpinteria?
What I like about the city of Carpinteria is that it's a really tight-knit community, and everybody really supports each other. Just growing up here, I feel at home absolutely wherever I go. What I don't like about Carpinteria, it's not even something that I don't like about it, I just wish we had more restaurants here on Linden Avenue. I wish we had more action going on. I wish there was more, businesses that were thriving and doing well, but I think we're on our way. There's lots of new things opening up in town. There's a new restaurant across the street from us. Our neighbors down the street, Slides is doing great, Tony's in the Palms. I think Cabo's is going to be under new ownership soon, so there's lots of really fun stuff going on, and I think that the city continues to grow and continues to impress itself, really.
Well, that's interesting. You say that you'd like to have more businesses. It wouldn't hurt your business?
No, I don't think so. I think that for us, oftentimes, the space across from us has been closed for a little while, and it's when there's another business there, especially a restaurant, it creates action and there's something going on, and people want to be in a town that there's things happening. You know, you don't want to be sitting in a restaurant looking at the window at a dark box. If there's another place across the street that has maybe some music going on or other customers, it really creates a fun atmosphere, and I think it's great for business.
Well, where do customers come from that go to Cork Tree? Are they mainly local or?
We get a lot of local customers, absolutely, but we get a lot of people from Camarillo and Ventura, Montecito and Santa Barbara. We get a couple customers that make a weekly trip from the Los Angeles area, Santa Clarita, Bakersfield. Over the summertime, we get a ton of people from Bakersfield. So I think that the word just continues to spread. The folks that come to the state park every year, they've all kind of discovered us, as well as the folks that do the vacation rentals. And you know, we're in our third year of business now, and people continue to find us. And once they do, the word spreads and they always come back.
Would you say Carpinteria is more upscale than it used to be, and because of that, are we attracting more people from Santa Barbara and Montecito, Goleta?
I think, I don't know about the word upscale, because I don't think we were ever not upscale. I just think that people are discovering maybe more of what there's to offer retail and for retail stores as well as for restaurants. I think that there might have been more of a quiet lull for the last decade or so in restaurants, and now with the addition of the places here on Linden Avenue as well as other places in town, I think there's just more going on than there used to be.
Well, what's your background in business?
I have worked in restaurants since I was 14. I started out at the Big Yellow House in Summerlin. I was just turning 15. I had my worker's permit, and I worked there as well as several other restaurants in town. And I also worked in restaurants in San Diego when I went to school there. And I graduated with a degree in advertising, so I worked in that field for several years. And then I became a wine representative. I sold wine to the different restaurants in Ventura and Santa Barbara counties. And so that's really where my wine knowledge came into play. And my business knowledge is something that I've pretty much learned as I've gone along.
Well, as a business person, are there ups and downs that you have to expect? Have you had ups and downs in your career?
Yeah, yes, in my career as a whole I have, and in the restaurant I have as well. I think thankfully there's been a lot more ups than downs, but there is a lot of challenges on a day-to-day basis. But luckily we've, faced those head on and done well.
What does the future look like for you? What are your plans for the future?
My plans for the future are to open up PB&J's in the next month or so, get that going, and then once that is settled, perhaps start a family and continue to work in both my restaurants and enjoy a great life in Carpinteria.
Can you tell me what's involved in opening the new business and how that will be different from Cork Tree Cellars?
The new business is going to be just mostly a lunch location. So we'll be open from 10 to 4, 6 or 7 days a week. And since it's only lunch, we won't be serving any alcohol over there. So it's a little bit less of a process. It's also going to be a fast casual dining environment. So we will have tables for people to sit at if they want to dine in. But I think a large majority of our business will be to-go customers. And then we're also planning on doing lots of catering for the large corporations that have offices out here, that they'll maybe order, large salads or sandwich platters when they have meetings with their employees. And I think there's a pretty big need for that. So I'll be driving around a lot more, I think, delivering things and being part of that kind of catering part of things.
Have you been to the Chamber event before, and how do you feel about the honor of winning the small business for 2010?
I have been to the Chamber event before. My sister was chosen as Junior Carpinterian of the Year back in 1994, and actually this year she is chosen as Educator of the Year. So we're both getting nominated for awards, which is really great because I think our parents instilled in us and still do that giving back to your community is really important. And I think for myself, being able to do that while making a living and running a business is a huge blessing. And we're really honored and humbled and surprised and all those things.
What's your sister's name?
My sister is Jamie Pursoon. She's a 5th grade teacher at Canalino.
Okay. And any last things you'd like to say to the people channel cruising on Channel 18?
Thank you for all your support.
Okay. Well, thanks to Jessica Pintard and Mark Borowitz. Congratulations to both of you for winning the Large and Small Business of the Year for 2010. I'm Larry Nimmer from the Seal Fountain.